Hi, so what I want to do is review with you the offset function and explain a little bit further what it does. So the offset is one of the handiest tools, one of the handiest functions that I use in Excel. It's my personal favorite. I use it all the time. And basically the way that it works is that once you've specified a reference cell, what the offset will do is return a cell that is a predefined number of rows and columns away from the reference cell. So what I want to do is demonstrate for you how this works. So if you look at the report over here, the report's set to May engagement data. Well, right now it's December. So we need to figure out a way to quickly change this report easily. So we also have stored the historic data, and we can recall it as if we need it quickly. So if we move over to the user engagement data tab, which looks like this, you'll see that I actually have all the data here that I want from Google Analytics. I have total organic visits, total page views, bounce rate, time spent on site, and it's broken out by month. Well, we're set on May right now, and this is really the section that you're going to want to pay close attention to because this data here is pulling in from above. So total organic visits, right now it's set at May, which you'll see here on the left, May engagement data. And I want to change it to November because that's going to be the most recent report of the most recent data that we have here. So all I need to do is come over here and click the arrow up, and you'll start to see that the numbers start to change. And this is happening because of an offset. So what the offset does is, if you look up here, the offset is taking the reference cell, which here is G2, so it's the cell right above the data, and then it's taking the rows. And the rows, or the cell that I've defined here, the number of rows is going to be whatever number is in this cell. So in this case, it's 7. And the number of columns, it can be also, again, another number or another cell, but in this case, I don't need it because I'm pulling the data that's just directly above me, above this section. I don't need anything else. So what ends up happening is it's saying, or what this data is saying is offset from the reference point, 7 cells, 7 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 0 columns. 7 is 3378, and the total organic visits is 3378. And as I go down, you'll see it's 3441, 2904, and it'll keep moving on that way. So the question is, so you're probably wondering, how am I getting this number to change? So that's very simple. What I've done is, once you add in one of these buttons, and you can easily get one of these buttons if you go over to the developer tab and you insert and add in one of these buttons over here, drop it in. And then you just need to right click on it. And when you go to format controls, this is where you can start to connect the button to the cell. You link it to a cell. So in this case, I've chosen N1, and I've created a minimum and a maximum, which means that the button or this, it will not move this number higher than 15 or lower than 1, meaning 0. And that is how you set up the button. And then what you've done is you've created it so you can continuously click, and it'll keep changing all the data. And what this ends up doing is, as you'll see, if I go back to November data and I click on the template, it's changed everything to November data. It's also not only changed that to November data, it's also changed the header of the report and a couple other miscellaneous pieces of the report. And you can really use this to create much more dynamic reporting for your clients if you send it over via Excel. So I hope that helps, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about offsets. Thank you so much.